Hi guys, welcome to another day. I'm going to put a photo up. Now that photo is of my car's windscreen, and that's passenger side, and that is not bird excrement. That is a stone chip, and it's quite a significant one as well. It's one of those where it's going to be a borderline, can they repair it? Don't really matter, I got windscreen cover, so it's not going to affect anything. But just driving along to work and it's like, oh no. Go past it was a yodel truck, and there was just this bang. I'm like, what? And of course the first thing you do is kind of look where you can see, didn't you? And then I looked and just, you got your rear view mirror, and then just down to it on that side, I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. I've had tiny stone chips on windshields before, but I've never had a large stone chip. Never been in that situation. But that is thanks to the wonderful methods of road resurfacing. That is thanks to the loose stone chipping method of resurfacing a road. Can I sue the council? Nope. No, I can't do anything. All I can do is phone my insurance company, or phone Auto Glass first of all, and say, look, I'm fully come out and fix it. They'll come out. If it can't be fixed, phone the insurance company. So waste all of that time buggering about with phone calls, because some fat pillock in the council thinks it's far easier to just throw loose stones all over the road. Well, what's the point, you know? Everybody goes slow. Yeah, they do. And then it gets to a stage where it's, you know, they remove all the speed wardings. It's been down for quite some time. They've sent the old road sweepers out to pick up all the loose chippings. They don't pick them all up. Now you're trundling down, you overtake a truck. Pow. And the reason I'm saying it's because of the loose chippings is because I know the road it was on, and I know that not all that long ago it was resurfaced with loose chippings, so yeah, a bit annoyed. Such is life, such is life. It's not really a massive issue because you've got windscreen cover these days, and if you're fully comp it's free for a repair, so who cares. The best thing, this is one of the bonuses about having a new car. One of the many bonuses in actual fact. And that is, for example, let's say that you had a second-hand car. You were third party fire and theft or something like that. And your cover, for whatever reason, you know, you're young and all that kind of stuff, doesn't cover windscreen. And you actually have to make bona fide claim against your insurance. Well, in a nice new car like my one, and obviously you'd have to be fully comp for a new car, but in a nice new car like mine, I don't have an MOT for a couple of years. So I just don't care. If it's one of those it's not repairable, I'm just going to drive it. I'm just going to whatever. And then when it gets to that point, I'll either have paid the car off, hopefully, if everything works out, and it can be somebody else's issue. But if it's not repairable and needs replacing, why do I care if I drive it till it cracks? It's on the passenger side as well, so whatever. It's just one of those days. It really is. I've now got to go and try and sort these lines out. I've taken another photo. I'll put that up now. They're the lines I've now got to go and untangle. How? I just... Oh. I'm going to go do that. Then I'm going to go clean the windscreen. Then I'm going to fill the AdBlue tank up and the fuel tank up. And I've seen the trailer I've got to use. That hasn't been filled up, it's halfway. And those ones are big belly tanks. They're way over 200 litres, easy. I think they're about 300 litres. and that's on half, so that hasn't been filled up for a long time. So I'm gonna pace myself. I'm gonna go sort things out and crack on with my day. It's not gonna get to me. Woosah, woosah. Well, made it. 16:52. I didn't stop on the way for a Costa either. Oh, I just thought, sod it, I'll crank it out. Because I've got to go from here, Avonmouth to Didcot. And I'm in tomorrow, 12:30 it looks like, so job's a good one, job's a good one. Oh dear. The M5's always carnage, as you will have seen. It is always knackered. And of course, by the time I leave the yard and it's all green and free flowing, of course, by the time you get there, time's gone past. It's starting to be rush hour. Everything's knackered. Do people not work till 5 anymore? You know, I thought I'll get there just before 5. It's 16:53 at the moment. I'll get there just before 5. You know, just before the rush, just before the... No! Everybody's out. You're just looking at it, really? Really? It's just... Can't win sometimes, can you? You try, you think, yeah, I can just about do this, yeah, I can just about do that, and whatever happened to 9 to 5? Well, that buggered off, didn't it, years ago? It's like, let's go home early, woo! Oh dear. But now I'm waiting for them to respond, you know. But Conway Bailey Transport sitting just there. I know there's somebody who YouTubes who works for them. I think he even watches me. I ain't got a clue who's in that one. But he's sitting just there. Now, fortunately, this particular individual has sat himself, I'll get my words out one day, has sat himself back further enough so that if some pelican, whilst I'm here, parks right up against the curb and I can't get out, I can make it that way. It's weird what happens when a driver actually thinks about where they're stopping. Well done to you, sir. Well done. Left more than enough of a gap. You know what? Just so as you guys can see what I'm actually going on about, I'll give it a little photo. You'll see the orange front of the vehicle, okie dokie? Absolutely perfect, absolutely spot on, set just right. Perfect in actual fact. So that if, for whatever reason, somebody stops there and I can't make the turn because their arse end is right up against the edge of the curb, and that does happen, I can turn right out of here and go round the industrial estate and waddle off. Now what usually occurs is some pelican parks right up against that curb, and you get cars parked all the way directly opposite because of the go-karting track, and you just sit there and you think, well, I ain't making this, and you literally have to wait until somebody moves. Ooh, one bonus, there's no class 2s in here. Loads of room, loads. I came in, I was like, wow, span it all the way round, straight back. It was like, yes. Usually it's the case if you go round and you think, no, I ain't going to swing that, so you have to go up there and then reverse round style thing. Now today, straight round, straight back, straight. Lovely. Loads of room. I could swing. It's not always the case, but they've got all the class 2s in there. I wonder if somebody watched my complaint last time I was here, because they're not there no more. Because I said, didn't I? I said about eventually someone's going to swing and take out the back end, and now I can count all the class 2s where they should be parked in there, not out here. All the people that work with me, you can thank me later. But it just makes life so much easier. And of course now I'm waiting, obviously I don't know if there's another load going to be turning up starting. So whilst I'm waiting for them to do whatever they've got to do, if somebody else turns up, instead of rammed, he can now come in, get ready to turn round. When I go back, plonk himself here, and when I leave, I can go that way. Of course, right over there gives it easier to make the left turn. Simple. So simple. Yeah. I'm quite pleased about that. There's a couple of puddle jumpers in here. I think they're 7.5 tons, but they look like 3.5 tons. You know what I mean? They're proper dinky little local shop run things. They're parked in here, but they're so small, they don't matter. They can actually park in one of the parking bays and fit in the parking bay. Yeah. So I'm happy about that. I turned in here, I was like, whoa, there's space. It's like, oh my god, I can actually spin. Yeah. It is fun. But anyway, I suppose I should go and give them another knock. See whether they're about. Chances are there's a shift change going on or something. I think, what is it? It's Thursday today, isn't it? Hold on. Yeah, it is Thursday. I've forgotten the days of the week. Yeah, they're open till 8, I think. So I'll probably go wandering in. Say, oi, open up. Let me in. Right, bruv. But anyway, I shall see you in a while. It'll probably be quite dark by then, because obviously it's late on. It's in October now by the time I've tipped and rolled forward. I might as well take, I don't know, should I take my break here? I don't know, I might do. I'm in a 56er today, and I've been using it. It's nice every so often. I mean, this is, this particular vehicle is one of the higher ones. Obviously all our vehicles are on a higher contract, but when it gets to the busy times of year, every site hires in a couple of extra units. This is one of them, and this is a silver one. Ooh. Yes, basically it's an older Cardo unit they don't want to use anymore. It's done, what is it, 670,781 kilometres, so not bad really. I mean, there's a lot of people watching me who are like, that's just run in, bruv. You want 1.6 million, that's the one. But no, this is, what are we up to at the moment? I mean, we're about 470 on our fleet. So there, this is 200,000 kilometres more than our fleet's got. But yeah, this is a 56er. So I've been using it. Oh, Class 2's turned up. Now where's he going to park? Oh, he's taking the side out. Oh, that looks relatively fresh. It is relatively fresh. Ooh. He's going to be filling in the, I'm sorry, slip. Yeah, the best thing is, because they've moved the other ones in there, he's parked up just there, in a Class 2. I guess it's an 18-tonner. You can still spin. There's still loads of room. You've got loads of room because the other ones are in there. So it doesn't matter whether he parks there. It's genius. Absolutely genius. I'm happy about it. I know, I'm happy about it. Bizarre thing to be happy about. But anyway, I'm going to go and chase them up, see what's going on, because I've given them long enough now. And so I shall see you when it's dark, no doubt. Well, that's that delivery done. Lovely jubbly. Lovely jubbly. And they had a few of these starting to go out of date. So they've been giving them away free to customers, drivers, anybody, staff themselves. And I don't know how they've managed to do this. This is one of those ready, you know, the powdered stuff, you just add water to it. But it quite literally tastes of nothing. Seriously, it literally tastes of nothing. I've added sugar, I've added milk. And other than sweet nothing, it literally tastes of nothing. It's impressive. I'm really impressed by that. The funniest thing is, it smells like coffee. It looks like coffee. But it tastes of nothing. It's really impressive. But I'm giving it a crack, you know, thought I'd give it a try. And before anybody gets clever, yes, I have stirred all the crap in, don't worry. But, I saw something, it came up on a feed of mine, eBay car sales and all that kind of stuff. Barn finds and everything like that. This isn't the barn find. but I've saved a couple of photos of it. It was 710 quid when I went to see it, but I've saved a couple of photos and I'm going to put them in now. That's a Volvo-ish state that somebody's turned into a tank. How funny is that? I think it was a few ex-army guys did it for some charity event or something, and they've turned it into a tank. How genius is that? I really like that. That's good customisation, eh? That's really good customisation. But I thought I'd share those images with you. I mean, I don't own them, but obviously I don't. But it's on eBay for everyone to see anyway. So that's actually genius. It's up for spares and repairs. It's just a standard Volvo estate they've done stuff to, but obviously it was a knackered estate to begin with, and there's things wrong with it, God knows what. I didn't bother reading it. I just saw the photos. I thought that is absolutely fantastic. But yeah, have me break here. Bugger off to Didcot. Drop the empty, pick up a loaded. Go back to the yard. Oh yeah, I was told this by another driver. Quite a serious accident on the M25 today, because he asked me which way I was going. I said I'm going to Avonmouth. He went, oh, you'll be fine then. But now I've heard this. I don't actually know exactly what was involved, but one of the vehicles that went over was a tanker carrying diesel or petrol, something like that. There was a car involved, another vehicle with a digger of some description on the back, I think. Yeah, that all went over and it spilled all over the place, all over the lanes, everything. It was absolute carnage on the M25. And the thing is, I would hazard a guess there was some sort of, I'm going to get out of the way of this situation, and maybe the car caused it. I don't have a clue. But somebody calls somebody else to shift, and if there's two trucks and one car, chances are it's the car. Not every time, but more often than not. And the thing with a fuel tanker is, even though it's segmented to kind of stop the slosh effect, you know, the tank slapper effect, you can still have that happen. You can still, you know, move and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's that. Even though they're segmented, you can still get a bit of a moment, especially if they're, you know, 26,000 litres are on board. Admittedly it's filled so it can't really slosh, but you just get that kind of whey, and that can throw you off. An overcorrection here, an undercorrection there, wallop, you've hit the car, you've hit this, you've gone up there. It's not the tanker driver's fault, I'm not saying it is, I don't know. But car drivers just don't get it. I can make that gap. Go for it. Oh, there's a truck coming. I can't make that gap. Stop. The truck behind's like, well, sorry, sunshine. I'll do me best. And this is one of the major issues when you become a driver. You have to drive everybody else's car. You have to. You don't know who's driving what car. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of professional drivers driving along in their cars, going home, maybe on holiday, stuff like that, but you don't know. You don't know who's who. So the way I view cars is they're all make and go merchants. They haven't got a Scooby. They don't understand my braking distance. They don't understand why I have to go wide. They've never read a highway code a day in their life. You know, they don't know what they're doing. And so I always think, I'll have a look, and if something seems a bit off about the car, I will assume that car is going to do something silly and back off. I won't keep pushing. I'll be like, nah, that car's going to do something stupid. 9 times out of 10 it doesn't, it just trundles off quite happily. But there's just a certain, the way it changed lanes, the way it moved from behind me or moved into the middle lane, just something about it makes you, ooh, he's going to do something silly. 9 times out of 10 they don't. But that 1 time out of 10 when they do, you're ready for it. And you have to, if you're going to do this job, if you're going to do this in any country, you have to drive everyone else's cars. You have to. You've got to assume the worst. because people will come out of absolutely nowhere. You'll be thinking, I'm literally at the end of this slip road, you know, I'm on the main road, there's a slip road, I'm virtually at the end of it. Nobody's going to be stupid enough to come down there. All of a sudden, slams on the brakes because there's somebody in front of you. I've had it before now where vehicles have pushed or tried to push when we're trundling along about 30 miles an hour and I've closed the gap. Not because there was a car there, but I've just closed the gap. Things are slowing down, you do. And then a car's decided that it doesn't want to be behind me, so it's gone into the slip road from behind me, given it the beans, and then tried to force in front of me. I've had that before. I'm sure most professional drivers watching me have had that before. But it's that kind of, if you're not looking in that one, you don't see it. And then the next thing you know, you've got a car stuck across the front of you. Oh, I've had some classics, I've had some proper classics. Took a Maybach out once. Yeah, I did. Took a Maybach out. Driving for a different company, not this one. This was... oh crikey, this was what, my second year of driving? I think it was my second year of driving. Gone into Pimlico, in Victoria area, that area. Well, the route back was closed, so we had to divert down to the Chelsea embankment, all the way along, and then back up past Earls Court. When you're trundling up the Earls Court road, to go towards Earls Court, so it comes past on the left. It's basically kind of a residential street, cars parked, all that kind of stuff, but it's 2 lanes. And you get, obviously, the cross junctions, you know, and traffic lights and everything like that. And I'm trundling up here, I'm doing 25, 30-ish, I suppose. It's night time, it's empty, lights are green, job's good. And I'm trundling up, happy as anything, thinking, oh, this is an easy drive back, this is such a much easier route than the one we usually use. And I've checked my mirror, and I've seen this vehicle behind me indicating left. Well, he's behind me. Where's he going to go? In behind me. He's indicating, who cares? And I've carried on. A bit nonchalant, you know, kind of, it's the last drop of the day, just going back. And I've got to these crossroads. And I'm, like I said, around the 30 mile an hour mark. And if that white line at the traffic lights at the crossroads is more than about 10 foot in front of me, I will be amazed. Okay, I'm right on it, I am literally crossing it. And this car that's been indicating left, a Maybach it turns out, has come alongside, he's floored it at the last minute, you've kind of heard him open up, and then he's turned broadside across me. This woof! There's nowhere I'm going. It was carnage. I slammed on, I'd hit him, I squashed him, I took him up the curb into another parked car, into the railings, almost into the corner of the house. He must have been about that close from the corner of the house. Buried the back end of this Maybach in the passenger side of this truck. If anybody had been in the back of it, oh, God knows, they'd have died. They wouldn't have survived. Carnage. Oh, police were called, everything else. The wrecker himself had to reverse all the way back down to come and get... he couldn't come from behind. It was obliterated, everything. This is a few years ago, this is at least 5 years ago. But you'll be amazed what people do. It's absolutely bonkers what people do. But I completely squashed this Maybach. Just, oh. Even the wrecker driver, he looked at the vehicle, he looked at my vehicle, and he looked at where I was. He just looked at me, and I'm not going to say exactly what he said, I'll clean it up a bit, but he went, "You boys don't half do it right, didn't you?" I just obliterated this. But it literally, I was on the junction, and he just went for it. He just appeared broadside, he was like, whoa! It was bonkers. Because in that situation you're thinking, no, he's not going to turn, there's no way he can, no, he must have left his indicator on. That's when I learned never to think that. That's when I learned, just, you know, that 1 in 10 chance, he's a nut job. He was. Just, boom, I'm like, that was the end of that. Nothing I could do. Fortunately I was empty, I had absolutely nothing on. I had a short twin axle trailer and I just slammed on and just It was that close to the corner of taking the building out. Oh, it was carnage. But this is what I go on about. You have to assume that every other driver, every other vehicle on the road is just a nut job. Because that 1 in 10 vehicle is a nut job, and if you don't pick on it, if you don't pick it up, if you don't get it, if you don't realise, that's it. You know, cheers. You know, well done. That was an epic accident. You've just shut the motorway. And you can't avoid every accident. Some you don't see coming. That's why they're called accidents. But I've been in positions before now, and I thought, ooh, that was close. And sometimes it's been, well, that was more than close. I can open his boot. Think. But yeah, it will. The more you do this job, the more you'll see it. That's all the experienced guys. They already know what I mean. But to guys who are thinking of getting in now, I have been accused of this on a couple of occasions before, that I make this job seem like hell on earth. If I make this job seem like hell on earth, given what I do and how easy I do things and how easy this job is, then this job is not for you. Okay, because I think I make it look quite easy, quite simple. I mean, I warn you about certain things, and there's, you know, obviously there is a lack of room in these things if you live in them. But if I make this look like hell on earth, trust me, this industry is really not for you. Because it's easy. I mean, living away from home isn't, in any job, even if you're a pilot. You know, you're away from your family, your loved ones, you can't get back at short notice if you have to. That's always going to be an issue. It's like, for example, I'm in Avonmouth. I live in Braintree in Essex. So if I got a phone call now saying Bert's been hit by a car or something, nothing I can do. You know, even if I phone base and say, look, this has happened, I'm coming straight back, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be stopping in Didcot, and I go straight back, I've still got at least, 3 hours by the time I get back, for argument's sake. It's about an hour back to where I live, but then I'm going to have to go to the hospital, so you're talking 5 hours. You know, and then of course I'd have to ignore my break if, you know, I wanted to get back quick. So now you're talking about 6 hours. And I go home every day. But there are downsides to this industry, and I would be disingenuous not to tell you, I suppose I could use that term. The thing is, this job is actually really easy. And you get to some places every so often and you think, oh, I've got to go in there. Oh, you really do. You do turn into Bricktop. You go, you taking a piss? You get there and you think, no. But it's the same with any job. You end up in a situation where you think, oh, really? I've got to do that today? Really? But no, I mean, if I make this job look like hell on earth, then this industry is definitely not for you. Because as far as I'm aware, I don't make this job look like hell on earth. Yes, you follow me day to day, so sometimes I'm in a bad mood, sometimes, you know, I'm feeling a bit under the weather or something. Or something's appeared in a news feed somewhere, an article about something, and, oh dear, and it's annoyed me. Yeah, fair enough. But this job is really easy. Oh, it's easy. There are downsides, but then there are downsides to every job. But if you want to be a truck driver, then go for it. I'm never going to tell you not to. I might advise you don't do it for a forever job. You know, always plan to have something else, to go somewhere different, to, you know, continue to evolve. But if it's something that you want to do, go for it. But it's easy enough. just long hours. That's all it is. But anyway, I think I've prattled on long enough again today. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share about, do whatever it is you usually do. Hi to all my new subscribers from everywhere, whether it's the UK, Australia, New Zealand, Europe, America, Canada. Hi. Do get sharing about, see whether I can drum up a bit more, a few more subscribers, things like that. But anyway, I shall see you in the next one. I do have a shift tomorrow, 12:30. How long is it going to take? This is 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I should have enough time. But anyway, I'll see you in the next one, and thanks for watching.